25, we continue our discussion of infinitives, but here we're dealing with adverbial infinitives. So first we need to talk about what an adverb is. An adverb is exactly what it sounds like. It is a word that adds to verbs. So we have all sorts of different types of adverbs, but here we're talking about infinitives that function as adverbs. They are neither noun nor are they a verb. It is simply an infinitive that is functioning as an adverb. So when it is used, we will almost always see the adverbial infinitive preceding a verb that has the exact same root as what we see in the adverbial infinitive. So it's rather straightforward because we always or almost always see it just like this. So it is adding to the verb that follows some nuance, or authors here say a modal nuance, which means almost nothing to us. It really adds some sort of emphasis or some sort of additional meaning, such as doubt, necessity, or possibility. In both of our examples, what we really are seeing here is some sort of emphasis or some sort of question that is being added to it. Let's take a look at Deuteronomy chapter 6. Shamor tishmaru et mitzot Adonai Elohechem. So this is our infinitive, our adverbial infinitive here. It is preceding an imperfect. They have exactly the same root. See the shin, mem, resh, shin, mem, resh. So our infinitive is the same, has the same root as our imperfect that follows it. So we know we're dealing with an adverbial infinitive, and it's adding some sort of modal nuance or some sort of emphasis. Here it is telling us to watch or keep the commandments of the Lord your God. So if all we had was the imperfect, let's ignore the infinitive for a second. This is saying you all should keep the commandments of the Lord your God. Now we add our adverbial infinitive, and it is telling us strongly to keep the commandments of the Lord your God. So we can say carefully in English, carefully keep the commandments of the Lord your God. So there's a lot of different ways that you can translate it in English. What you need to do is find a way to add some sort of emphasis to the existing verb. Because we can't say to keep the commandments of the Lord your God. That makes no sense in English. So the repetition adds some intensity. Carefully keep. Here in Genesis 37, we see a question. We have got the interrogative hey at the beginning, and then followed by the sentence. So in Hebrew, ha-malok, timlok, aleinu. So here we have our infinitive functioning as an adverb. It is followed by an imperfect with the exact same root, mem lamed kaf, mem lamed kaf. And it is a question sentence. So, will you really reign over us? So we won't repeat the word rule or reign. We would not say, will you rule over us? What we do is we add some sort of emphasis. And in English, really is probably a good way to go. Will you really rule over us? So whenever you see an infinitive that's followed by a verb that shares the same root, you translate the infinitive by adding emphasis to the sentence. Again, our authors list all of the infinitives that appear as adverbs in all 7 binyanim. Because we only know call, I want to focus just on the call binyan. Here it is shamor. This is very similar to what we saw in the previous lesson. The regular infinitive is shamor with the shva underneath the shin and no cholam, or the cholam but no vav, so it's just shamor. Here we got a long a vowel though, shamor. But in essence, they're very similar. The adverbial infinitive is spelled in a very similar way as a regular infinitive. It's built off of the imperfect we lose the prefix that normally comes on the front. Here the yod is chopped right off, and we're just left with shamor. So that's how it looks, and it functions to add emphasis. It's modifying a verb because it is an adverb. It's functioning as an adverb. So it's an infinitive that functions as an adverb, normally translated to add emphasis to the verb that it precedes. So that is lesson 25, the adverbial infinitive.